National anthem and pledge of allegiance. Cal, thank you for being here.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, what's so proudly there at the twilight's flashing, Christmas lights and bright stars in the low sky. Coursing down the street, and the rocket spread by. Oh, say, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
David needs to bring her invocation.
Bow with me, please. Dear Lord, I just thank you for this beautiful day and this wonderful country that we live in. Please be with our military as they strive to do our good works overseas. Dear Lord, be with our governments, local, state, and national, that they make the right decisions to help us succeed as a nation. Be with John Watson while he's recovering, and bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, David. Family Rotary, James F.
Well, I'm not Terry Jeffy, and I do not have a joke for you. But I do want to wish birthdays and anniversary wishes to those. I guess I got the honor of having some, because we haven't had a home in the last few weeks. But we wanted to also remember, as David said in his prayer, let's remember Mr. John Watson. I understand he's been in the hospital since last Monday. So continue to pray with him and be concerned about him. Just remember him. Fine gentlemen. Birthdays. Stephanie Walker. How many is Stephanie? Oh, that's okay. April 6th. Mark Kristen. Mark here today. And Mark is April 7th. Mr. Tim Shirley, April 10th. Mark Smith, April 12th. And we've got some people decided to get married this month in April. Josh Chapman, his wife Hannah, April the 9th. Jim Matheny and his wife Jennifer, April the 9th. Brian Deaton and his wife Cass, April the 11th. So let's welcome, let's thank them for allowing us to say happy birthday and anniversary to them, and give them a round of applause for this month.
Thank you, James. Introduction of guest visiting Rotarians. Grant.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy April. Today we have 3 guests. Stephanie, is it popped out? Thank you, Stephanie. Guest of Margaret Clutch, Justin McNeely, guest of Julie Gonzalez, and then Michael Smith, who is here today visiting from Tuesday Rotary. Let's just thank them all for being with us. And welcome.
There we have 1,495 points. There's a good one out. Let's see who we got today.
Our winning ticket today is 225. 225. Here you go.
All right, you put these on this. Sure, sir.
Robert, wait a minute, we try again this one. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just like to take a moment and cover Rotary Minute for this week. Title this week from Rotary was From Socrates to Rotary, a shared ethic of word and deed. Comparing Socrates' 3 filters and Rotary's International 4-way test reveals a surprising ethical continuity between antiquity and the contemporary world. Socrates proposed the discipline of speech based on 3 simple requirements. Is it the truth? Is it good? Is it useful? Rotary adopts the same topic, the same logic, extending it to the field of action. Is it true? Is it fair? Is it a source of goodwill and friendship? Is it equitable and beneficial to everyone concerned? The correspondence is striking. The truth forms a common foundation. Socrates' kindness finds extension in loyalty and promotion of goodwill. As for utility, it becomes the pursuit of a shared benefit. In both approaches, speech is never neutral. It emerges and engages the responsibility of the one who utters. Despite a separation of more than 24 centuries, Greek philosophy and Rotary ethics converge towards the same ambition to sustainability and improve the quality of human relations. Something to think about. Now, Michael Maddox, would you please go forward? Michael, presentation of the Paul Harris Fellow recognition is Rotary's Foundation's way of expressing its appreciation for substantial contribution to its humanitarian educational program. It is named for our founder, Paul Harris, a Chicago lawyer who started Rotary International, the Free Business Association, in 1905. We moved closer to a world of peace and goodwill, Michael, as you become the Paul Harris Fellow, +8. Your gift to the Rotary Foundation Education Humanitarian Programs is a commitment to a better life for people across the world who you may probably never meet. This is truly a selfless action. Likewise, because gifts like yours, the Rotary Foundation is able to carry on helping the way of the program to achieve beneficial changes in our world, which include improved living conditions, increased food production, better education, wider availability of treatment and rehabilitation for sick and disabled, new channels for the flow of international understanding, broader hopes for peace. And becoming the Paul Harris Fellow, +8, join the remarkable company of persons throughout the world, all recognized for their devotion to the ideal of goodwill, peace, and understanding. It's the goal of Rotarians the world over, the one that you surely share. It gives me great pleasure, Michael, to present you this emblem. Brothers Appreciation, Paul Harris, +8. Michael, thank you very much. Now I would like to turn the program over to Mr. Jason Rudd.
Good morning. All right, we're gonna do a 5-minute dance off here. Years ago, we used to, everybody would get up and speak, all the new members would speak for an hour and a half. But we're gonna nix this today. So we're gonna do it, we're gonna judge by audience applause.
Ready as I'm gonna ever be, I guess.
All right, the music cue. This is Will Gholson. Afternoon, everybody. Y'all bear with me because public speaking is not one of my strong suits. My name is Will Gholson. I was born and raised here in Dothan. Married to my wife, Ellie Gholson. We live here in the Garden District neighborhood. We have 2 dogs, May and Gus. Growing up in Dothan, I attended Houston Academy from the time I was 3 until I graduated in 12th grade. While at Houston Academy, I played football and golf. After graduating from Houston Academy, I moved on to Oxford, Mississippi, and went to the University of Mississippi. While at Ole Miss, I was a member of the Sigma Chi fraternity, and I studied risk management and insurance. After I graduated from college, I moved down to New Orleans, Louisiana, and began my career in insurance. I went to work for a wholesale and surplus lines broker called Amlins. Lived and worked down there for about a year. While I lived down there, I really enjoyed going inshore fishing in the marshy areas of southeast Louisiana. After 2 busted out windows in a year in New Orleans, I decided it was best to move on to safer destinations and moved back to Oxford, Mississippi. And I went to work for another brokerage firm called Burns & Wilcox. And I lived and worked there for about a year. And when I was living in Oxford, I enjoyed hunting and fishing with some friends that I made in college and attending Ole Miss sporting events. And then one day I was at work and I walked outside and I called Mr. Slingluff on the phone. And I told him I wanted to move to Dothan and asked him if there was an opportunity to go work at Slingluff United Insurance. We made that happen and I moved back home to Dothan and went to work for Slingluff United Insurance in January of 2024. And I have been working there ever since. And I take great pride in helping businesses and individuals find insurance and really enjoy working with some great individuals at Slingluff Insurance. In my spare time, I enjoy going to our family farm in Blakely and hunting and fishing and playing a little golf. And I really enjoyed my time at Rotary Club and getting to know each and every one of y'all. So keeping it short and sweet.
Next up, John Paul Turner. He's gonna sing us.
John Paul. Hey, good morning, afternoon, everyone. I appreciate y'all giving me a chance to come up here and share a little bit about myself. My name is John Paul Turner. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, while my dad, Paul Turner, was still in law school up there. When I turned 3, we moved back to Dothan. I'm a longtime resident of Dothan. I've lived here for going on 20 years now. I was a Will Gholson, me and him attended Houston Academy together. Went there, played football, baseball, basketball, and one time or another. Football was about one of my best sport, wasn't very good thing for the rest of them. After Houston Academy, I attended the University of Alabama for about a year, had a little bit too much fun, and had to come home closer to home. Finished out at Troy University. After I finished out of Troy, I came back to Dothan and had my first job in banking at River Bank and Trust, where I started interning there at the end of my days in Troy, and they offered me a full-time position before I graduated, and I came back and began my job as a credit analyst there. I spent about 2.5 years at River Bank and Trust, and then I decided I wanted to see if there what kind of was going on outside the town of Dothan, so I moved to Birmingham and spent about 2 years there, working at Southern States Bank. It wasn't all it cracked up to be, and I figured at that point it was time to come home. And I've been back. Me and my fiance Catherine
and we're getting married in August. And we've been back in Dothan going on 7 months now, and I'm a commercial banker at Synovus, and I'm so far enjoying my time there. Short and sweet as well. Thank you.
Next up, Dr. Kathy Murphy. She's gonna rap.
Actually, I'm gonna do the triple threat. I'm gonna sing, dance, act, and we'll do the fourth, and we'll do the rap. I'm sitting up here with these young people, and it just, I don't know how it came to be, but I actually suggested that they're all in campers and I'm headed to the pen. So I don't know, guys, I'm feeling like the old one for sure. I am Kathy Murphy. I'm the president at Wallace Community College, and I have committed my life to education. I have spent 42 years in education. It's hard to believe it's been that many years, but I have served as a teacher, as a principal at a middle school, principal at 2 different high schools. I was a college professor at the University of West Georgia. Also was at Gholson College and have had the privilege to be the president of 2 community colleges at Gadsden State and now at the wonderful Wallace Community College. My education background is Troy State University back in the day, and Auburn University. Also, you can say War Eagle. There we are. I kind of summarize myself by using the letter C. There are 5 C's that I love, and the first C that I love is my daughter, Connor. I thought she was going to be a boy, so I named her Connor, and she was a girl, so we went Caitlin Connor, but she's my Connor. She is a classically trained opera singer, musical theater, and performs with Sight and Sound Theater in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. She actually was on the big screen this weekend. If you saw The Great Awakening, that was here in Dothan and is still in theaters, some theaters, I'm not sure if Dothan's still carrying it. But she was in The Great Awakening, which is a terrific movie that came out over the Easter holiday. And she is getting married in June to a young man who is a classically trained pianist. They should have some nerdy kids, I think. But he actually wrote a good bit of the music that was in The Great Awakening. So we went to the theater as a family on Friday night and really enjoyed the fact that my daughter and future son-in-law were a part of that Great Awakening movie. The other C for me is I love cats. So for all you dog lovers who hate cats, and I hope you don't, I just don't understand how you can't love cats. I have 3, and they're my buddies, and I'm passionate about animals, all animals. I'm a real animal lover, and so I love the country. I have a little 40-acre piece of land, and when I'm fed up with everybody and everything, which isn't frequent, I might add, but it does happen, I just kind of take my retreat to my farm. And I have a cabin, so that's one of my C's I love too, the country and my cabin. And I can go back there and kind of forget about all the foolishness of the world and just enjoy God and nature, the country, my cabin, my swing, and all those good things. And then my 5th C is Christ. Now, I know I'm not here to preach, and so I won't do so. But I'll tell you that's a really important piece of my life. And us coming off of the Easter holidays and just remembering that it was his commitment that gave me an eternity. And so I love the fact that my daughter is in my C's, but the first C really for me is Christ. So Christ and Connor, my cats, the country, and the cabin. And that pretty much describes those things that I love so very passionately. It's an honor to be in this club. You all have treated me so kindly. I have been here since June 1st. And you move into some communities and they keep you at bay. They keep you at a little bit of a distance. This community has not done that to me, and I'm exceptionally grateful. Thank you for the privilege of being a part of the community and serving at Wallace Community College.
The next dancer, this is Aaron Finn. He's got a classical tap dance.
Jason, how's you doing my talents? Yeah, so for those of you that I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, my name's Aaron Finn, but I do look forward to meeting you guys, and gals. So yeah, Aaron Finn, born and raised here in Dothan. I moved away for college, so I attended Auburn University for undergrad, so War Eagle. Went to the University of Florida for my MBA with concentration in finance. So my background is heavily concentrated in finance. Worked in banking at Regions Bank, internal audit, and commercial credit for a few years. And then after my MBA, went to Ryder System, which is where I work now. Joined their strategy team, and then I'm now a senior portfolio manager with them. Aerospace, industrial, and automotive. So we mostly do DM business, so warehousing and shuttle business for those clients. But a little bit about myself. I have a dog named Guinness. So yes, after the Irish beer, it was fitting because he's black and tan, but also as a puppy, he drove me to drinking. But yeah, so moved back to Dothan after being with about 13 years. Moved back here a year and a half ago. Had the opportunity to get involved with DAC, so shout out to Troy Fountain and Tina for running that program, which really got me connected to Walter and Paul to join Rotary. And so it's been great to be able to get back to the community and be involved in Rotary.
Next up, McDowell. I'm not going to sing because I probably sound like a cat, so I spared all that. Thank y'all for having me up here. My name is McDowell Pinckard. My old man is Les Pinckard over there. So I'm going to share a little bit about my family. I'm married to Andrea Darby Pinckard. She and I were born and raised here in Dothan. Graduated from Dothan High School in 2008. My economics and government teacher is actually in the back, Coach Scott Childers back there, so shout out. But we're really glad to be in Dothan. We've been gone for probably 15 years. So Andrea and I, we have two boys. We have Conrad, who is 5 months old, and we have Dow, who is 6 years old, and a very needy golden doodle named Winnie. So hobbies-wise, in my very limited free time, outside of being a husband, a father, and a financial advisor, enjoy being outdoors, taking up bow hunting, cutting grass. Probably enjoy that more than Forrest Gump. And yeah, so with a fun fact, I used to jump out of airplanes while I was in the military. So jumped out of 3 different kind of aircraft. I'm going to use a diaper joke here again. So if you're ever considering jumping out of a perfectly good airplane for the first time, definitely have a parachute, but have some backup. Because speaking from experience, if you're going to need an adult diaper, it really depends on how your day is going to be. So, keep my warning on that. But yeah, I was in special operations in the Army, had a combat deployment to Afghanistan. So what we do for work, my dad has been in the community for 25 years as a financial advisor. The past 10 years, my wife and I have been in Birmingham. We hitched our wagon as of a year ago and came back. At the time, I was working at Philip Morris as a lead analyst. But Dad asked me to come home and help him with the family business. So what does a financial advisor do? Really depends on who you ask. But what we do at Edward Jones is we help successful people plan for the future. So you got to have a plan if you're going to invest. And so we go through our clients' goals. We go through their net worth. We marry those two things together and show them using analytics, money going in and money going out for the rest of their lives. We can provide clarity on their future. Once we have a plan, we know what we're investing towards. We build out a customized portfolio for that client. And then we also work on the tax and estate planning side. So tax-wise, it's not always what you make, it's what you get to keep. And that's where capital gains come into play. So for our higher net worth clients who are tax sensitive, we're helping them lower capital gains and increase the money they put in their pocket, their after-tax return. There's other ways that we help, but that's just one of those. On the estate planning side, the majority of our clients have a will, a living will, and a power of attorney. I don't care if you're 25 or 95, everybody needs a will, a living will, and a power of attorney. So we work with an estate planner in town on that. We ensure we get them to the right place. We do work on 401ks as well, but in a nutshell, that's what we do. I'll save you the dance and the song, and I'll go ahead and pass it off to Jason. Thank you.
They're doing really good on time, so we're going to ask some questions. Julie, if you want to come on up. Julie Gonzalez, she says if you brought your box of food with you today, you can ask her a question.
I didn't know will.
Yeah,
Sorry, no
there's a box.
questions.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Julie Gonzalez, and I'm the new CEO of the Wiregrass Area Food Bank. I am another girl that Dothan built. I did not let these guys go to HA, but I thank Dr. Murphy for including me in the young people group today. That's not often that happens anymore, and I'm liking it more and more. But I actually was born at Southeast Health. I'm literally born and raised in Dothan, Alabama. I went through Dothan City Schools until I went to, my parents decided that they didn't want to live in town anymore. They too wanted to get out to the country. So we moved out to Rehoboth. I spent my 11th and 12th grade years at Rehoboth High School, graduated from there, went to Wallace College on scholarship and graduated with an associate's degree from there. Then went on to Troy Dothan and graduated with my Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration with a major in marketing. And never did I dream that I would be able to use a marketing degree to do something as fun as work for the Wiregrass Area Food Bank. I've spent the last 19 years having the privilege of serving the Wiregrass that served me so well. Growing up, I have a little bit of an astonishing story, not astonishing, a different story to tell. But I actually have a daughter who's 34 years old and a daughter who's 16 years old. So take that as you will and do that math. My daughter Joy is 34, and she and her husband Ethan Kelly live in the Orchard here in Midland City. Glad to have them back in Dothan. They once talked about moving to Atlanta, so glad that didn't happen, because now I have two precious little grandbabies who are twin girls. They are about to turn 2 on June the 1st, so we're having a lot of fun doing that. But while I'm doing that, okay, everybody gets up and talks about what they do in their spare time. I'm explaining why I don't have any. I have two grandbabies who are about to turn 2 years old, and we spend time with them. But I also have a daughter who is 16 years old, and she is now a junior at Rehoboth High School. So because I was a busy person and I didn't have nearly enough to do in my life, my husband and I got involved with the Rehoboth Band Boosters. So we're actually co-vice presidents there and spend time helping the band raise money so we can take those kids on the road. And then we are also members at Memphis Baptist Church, where I'm the women's ministry leader. So we spend a lot of time working on church events as well. So I too have 2 dogs. They're very big. One is a jerk and one is a baby dog. He's my baby dog. Hank is a 120-pound black lab, and he's very needy and he likes to eat bread. And then Chance is black mouth cur and pit bull, and he is the most precious baby. And you know, it's a toss up between who do I want to spend more time with, the grandbabies or my baby dog, because the kids, they're in the back of the line now. But my husband and I are we're living in Taylor, Alabama, and we intend to stay here in the Wiregrass for as long as we can. He actually works for Frito-Lay. He's a DSL, so we spend a lot of time, both of us, in the food business. And that's pretty much what we're doing. And thank you for allowing me to come and be a part of the Rotary Club. I know that the food bank got its start with a lot of help from this club, and there's a lot of continued support from this club for the Wiregrass Area Food Bank. So thank you so much for all you do for the food bank. Thank you for all that you've done for me so far, and I look forward to a mutually beneficial partnership. Thank you.
Since they're so fast, we're gonna open the floor to questions. Anybody got a loaf of bread for the dog? All right, you got some questions? Questions or negative talk? Which one?
Yeah, that was one thing I forgot to mention. I thought about it for a second, but I'm also the president of the Rotary Outlaw Club. What we do is we try to do service projects about once a month or so. Paul also is a member member of the Outlaw Club. 2 weeks ago, we went to the Miracle Field, did the buddy program. Let's see, we've done some home cleanouts for Habitat for Humanity. We've served meals at the rescue mission. We've helped deliver things for this Rotary Club. So we're willing to do just about anything we can. So if anybody has any opportunities for us, let me know. Thank you.
Another question, please.
No, it's good too.
I saw a hand. Just kidding. Saw a bunch of hands. Right in the back.
Dr. Murphy, what's going on with Wallace College and new building projects and all? What's going on out there?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to talk about that. So we're wide open. Right now we have on schedule the demolition of 7 buildings, the renovation of 12 buildings, the construction of a gymnasium with an 8-track lane, tennis courts, and pickleball courts. We're going to build 2 CDL tracks. One will be at the Dothan campus, one will be at the Eufaula campus. And we have renovation of the what's called Building A, the admin building at Eufaula, and also a very underutilized building on that campus, which is the Bethel Hall Center. There's been some structural problems with the flooring. So we've been engaged since the 1st of January with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood, CC and Litchfield, North Star, the Alabama Community College System has been at the table with us. And we have invested major time in the planning process. I'll be meeting with Chancellor Baker on Monday morning and sharing my plans, and he's also been fully vetted along the way, so this won't be a strange, unusual conversation where I hit him out of the blue. He's aware of where we're headed. He's excited about what we're doing. I think all of this will go before our Board of Trustees sometimes probably at the November board meeting. That's a work session, and after the work session, they would, I'm hopeful for approval on most, if not all of those projects in December. And we'll be inviting you to come grab a shovel, and we'll do some groundbreaking for some opportunities on our campus.
Any additional questions? Yes, sir.
Open question to anybody that's brave enough to step up. How are you using artificial intelligence in your work today? Very good.
I use artificial intelligence. I write grants for the Wiregrass Area Food Bank. And I know the history of the food bank, but I'm not the best writer in the world. So I use artificial intelligence. I put what I write for a grant or just to use for any kind of promotion. I put that into ChatGPT or Perplexity and have it kind of help my writing a little bit, and it boosts it. Not only that, but if you're looking to do any kind of fundraiser or special event that you'd like to use for whatever cause, like most recently is for the band boosters. We have a Rehoboth High School marching band festival, and we need to raise money. Our travel this year, we have fewer home games and more travel expenses, so we need newer ways to raise money. I put in as a prompt in ChatGPT, the Rehoboth High School marching band is having a marching festival. We're using this as a fundraiser to fund travel expenses. Help me create a fundraiser. It gave me a fundraiser. It gave me a sponsorship level sheet. It gave me the letter to send out for parents asking for donations. It told me how to host a silent auction, what items do the best at a silent auction, and then how to write thank you letters to tell everybody thank you at the end of it. So I'm learning to use it more and more every day, not only for the food bank, but for all sorts of different organizations. But I do it for the food bank as well. I put a grant proposal in there, what I've already written. I don't go in and ask it to write it for me, but I take what I've already written, put it into AI, and then ask it to hone it in for me. And it does a really good job, but you always got to make sure that you proofread that after you put it in there. Don't leave what it spits out as your end product. You use it to help guide you in the way that you should go.
In the insurance business, I use it sometimes to, I'll enter like forms on an insurance quote. Like if I want to compare 2 of them, I just ask it to tell me like one quote has this exclusion versus the other one. So that just kind of helps save time opposed to reading through the whole entire quote and all the forms. Also used it to generate claim scenarios to explain to people why they might need a certain line of coverage or policy.
So far, that's really all I've used it for. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I can talk about it and what I use it personally, but also for Ryder as a $13 million corporation. Some people they've implemented. So starting with Ryder, we have what we call Ryder GPT. So it's built on top of ChatGPT, but it isolates itself from a firewall perspective because if you know ChatGPT, you put any information in there, anybody else can access it, right? There's a lot of security breaches there. But what this has allowed our company to do is put various documents within this system to where anybody within the company can prompt and say, hey, how do I do X, Y, and Z? It'll pull that policy up for them, show them how to do it, or hey, what was the financials for this customer and under this cost center? It will pull all of that immediately there for you so you can easily access that information instead of having to remember how to go through the system and whatnot. From a personal level, I'm meeting with customers all the time, having to put together spreadsheets, do, we'll call it road math, right? Getting a little bit creative. And so what I will do is I'll prompt the like ChatGPT just to double check my work and figure out, hey, is there a more simple way to use this formula within Excel or something along those lines to prevent any kind of breakage or anything along those lines. So it serves as a good secondary check before I get in front of the customer that the math is correct. So that's how we use it.
We generally have to be very careful in the banking industry of how we use artificial intelligence just to, as he spoke about, just to certain liability and what really we don't like to put customer information out there in any way possible, including AI. But we'll sometimes use it to write emails, stuff like that, have certain prompts to help communicate certain things with clients. And something I should have mentioned earlier when I spoke is that my granddad was not for many, many years. So just wanted to. Don't hold it against me if you know.
If y'all are interested, I'll share how AI is moving in the stock market and share a little bit about that. So we've had a bubble recently that's slightly popped. You may have noticed. The big question is people are wising up and asking, okay, a lot of companies are spending billions of dollars on artificial intelligence, right? So what are they using it for? Any business owner knows if you invest in something, a piece of machinery, equipment, or somebody else, hiring in employees, you want a return on your investment. You want to build up your bottom line profit. And so a lot of folks are asking, you're spending all this money, what are you using it for? What's your revenue look like? And so Google has strong revenue streams. They're doing really well with it. You look at Amazon, not so much. They have AWS, Amazon Web Service, but they're not generating as much revenue. So AI is still relevant in the markets. It's just how companies are utilizing it and how they're generating more revenue from it. So, yeah, that's all.
Any other questions? It's been a pleasure. I hope y'all agree to have these newer members here. Hopefully everybody got to know them a little bit better today. Continue to reach out and guide them here at the Rotary Club, and we'll look forward to doing it again sometime next year. Any last questions? Is it okay if we go to the hall and do a handshake as we leave? Yeah.
I'm not sure everybody's name. Mayor, I'd like to have Dale and Bruce come forward. Well, some of you got some communication from Dale and myself. Rotary International, along with District 6880, has asked us to join hands and be involved in a district endowment campaign. And of course, there's no secret that endowment campaigns is asking for money. And they've got goals for our district, which is pretty lofty. And we just need to do our part in that. The benefits of this particular endowment is not going into some black hole at Rotary International. It's going to a specific account, and all the proceeds from that endowment will come back directly to
this district in the form of district grants. And of course, you don't see it, you see some of the things we do in this club with district grants, but district-wide, there's a lot of things, a lot of benefits that goes on.
And right now, we have several anonymous donors in the district that have pledged a very large sum to this. I'm not at liberty to tell you how much, but a very large sum. And so when we met with the person with Rotary International a couple of Fridays ago, Sam Adams said it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for our district to have this money coming back. I think it's every 3 years, is, you know, once it goes in, then
well, it sits there for 3 years, and then every year after that.
And every year after that, then we have the opportunity. So we will be able, as a district, to provide a lot of community grants. And it goes back to the communities of the clubs in our district that the money will go to.
Dr. Moore, and I can't think of his first name, from Selma, Alabama. He donated a significant amount to the foundation, and he dedicated it to this district. So every year we get anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 from that, and we'll get that from here on out. Yeah. So an endowment that comes back to this district is going to be very beneficial. We have Mr. Carl Lewis coming from. He actually lives in New Orleans, but he's a person from Rotary International. I was trying to think. He's here to help us, okay? But he'll be coming to us. We have an event on the 15th of this month at the Dothan Country Club. It'll be a casual event. Mr. Lewis will share with us, you know, everything that will be going on with this grant, how we need to support it. And everybody in this club should have got some information on that. If you feel led to attend that meeting and gather some more information, you let us.
Yeah. Please let us know if you plan to come so we can get with the country club on the meals and all. So we need to know by Wednesday if you're coming and you want to tell us today. You know, Bruce and I'll be glad to stay a few minutes afterwards and just let us know that if you can be there. But we only had a short amount of time to find out about doing this, and so that's why we're kind of wanting to come today and speak to you about it. But Montgomery, Mobile, Auburn, Dothan, and one other place in our district are having some type of, they wanted to call them fireside chats, you know, where you sit down with groups and talk. So, thank you.
All right. We probably, it's not, there's no major commitment there. It's just general information so you'll understand, and then you can decide on your own if you want to participate. So, no pressure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate what y'all do. All right, just a couple more announcements. Just remember on 4/27, where we will meet at Hudson Alpha for lunch and a tour, private tour. Please remember 4/27, we'll be meeting at Hudson Alpha. Should be a great event. Next Monday will be our April board meeting, board members. Next Monday, we'll meet directly after this meeting. If you will, let's stand. 4-way test. Think, say, and do.
Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and arbitration? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Everyone